Hi everyone, my name's Lucy. I'm a trans woman of 50-something years, living in South Wales here in the UK. The following video is my diary, if you like, my journey to getting my gender reassignment surgery, which happened at Parkside Hospital in Wimbledon, in London, in October 2024 with Mr. James Bellringer. When I was having a look and sort of preparing for my surgery, there were a couple of great videos that I watched, but there wasn't a huge amount of content specifically about that particular hospital and that particular surgeon. So I just thought I'd record my journey from pre-op assessment through to admission into hospital, surgery and post-op recovery, and post it for you. So have a look at it. If you've got any questions, any comments, please do feel free to like and comment. Please be nice. But yeah, have a look and I hope you enjoy. So hello, Lucy here. We are going on a journey today, quite literally, to London, Putney, I think, to be precise, where I'm going for my gender surgery pre-op check. So I'm heading off to London. It's currently a damp and wet. It's currently damp in here in South Wales. Sat nav saying it's about 3 and a bit hours depending on traffic. So time for maybe a coffee en route. My appointment's 1 o'clock. It is now about 8:15, just gone. So hopefully in plenty of time. Don't want to be stressing about being late today. But yeah, we will check in en route, see how we're going, and catch up with you when we're a little bit closer. See you in a bit. Hello again. So quick update. I am now at Heston Services, just getting a cheeky little top up of electric for the car. A little bit ahead of schedule, which is good. Glad I left early because the roads have been pretty shocking with the weather, loads of rain and stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to be leaving here shortly, heading into Putney to the clinic, and my appointment's 1 o'clock. It's just gone 11:30 now. It's been a slight Brucey bonus because being a bit of a plane geek, I'm right next to Heathrow Airport, and so watching the planes going over and going into land, which is quite good. So yeah, when I know a bit more, I'll let you know later. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen really in terms of the pre-op checks. I'm guessing lots of tests and questions and things. I have already completed an online health questionnaire thing, so hopefully they'll have all that. I think the only thing they asked me to bring was my current medication, so I've brought that. And I've got my latest blood test result in case they need that as well. So hopefully it'll all go well. It's supposed to take about an hour, so I'll keep you updated a little bit later. Well, there we go. All done. There was a slight little issue in that they couldn't get any blood out of me. Probably because with a long drive this morning, I was deliberately not drinking a huge amount. Because I didn't want to have to keep stopping for a wee. And then when I got there, I was probably a bit dehydrated. So, but yeah, that's all done. So what I had to do was to head from the clinic in Putney down to the actual hospital in Wimbledon. It's less than a 10-minute drive, so it wasn't a major issue. And the staff were all really lovely. And on the plus side, I've actually been to Parkside Hospital now, so at least I've been here and I know where it is. So that's all good. In terms of the pre-op stuff itself, there's a lot of just asking questions. So if you're going through this process, you will have needed to complete an online health questionnaire with a lot of your medical history and stuff. So they go through a lot of that and confirming the things that you'd already put in there, and checking various things. They do require a urine sample, which I didn't know in advance, and I'd literally just been to the toilet when I got there before I walked into reception, and they went, "Oh, you need to do a urine sample." So anyway, a few copious amounts of, well, loaded glasses of water later, and all was good. They obviously take bloods, which was where my particular issue with it was. Check temperature, do some swabs for MRSA, and blood pressure. And bizarrely mine was a little bit high, which is unusual because I've certainly not suffered with high blood pressure in the past. So maybe it was just a bit of nerves or whatever it was creeping in there. So I'm going to be doing a few blood tests, not blood tests at all. I'm going to be doing a few blood pressure checks at home and then emailing those results through to them when hopefully I'm in a nice, calm, relaxed state. So that's it for today. So that was all good. So I'm now in Wimbledon and the time is 10 to 3 in the afternoon. So it's time to head back to South Wales, where apparently the weather is pretty rubbish again, probably as I left it this morning. So all is good. 2 weeks and 4 days till I get admitted into Parkside for my surgery with Mr. Bellringer. So very excited, a bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's all good and it'll be here before I know it. So yeah, just thought I'd give you that little bit of an update. So here I am in Parkside Hospital in Wimbledon. It's Friday evening, actually Friday the 11th of October 2024. So yeah, I'm just here in my room. Might do a little tour at some point. I got here just after 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock was my admission time, so I got here a little bit about 5 past. And yeah, all checked into the room, good, nice room, nice little bathroom off it. And I've had blood pressure check. I've had bloods taken. I've been given my uniform for tomorrow for surgery with my stockings and little pants and the gown and all that sort of stuff. I have ordered a little bit of food, which I'm waiting for. It's now 8 o'clock, so hopefully it'll be here soon. I'm getting a bit peckish and I nil by mouth after midnight. So yeah, we're all looking all okay, I think. I've had a blood thinning injection as well. So obviously to help reduce the chances of clots and things. So that's all good. So yeah, so we're just waiting. Hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep tonight. And then I'll be ready to rock and roll. So I had a good trip up from South Wales today. Trains were on time. Wasn't that busy. I did upgrade to first class because I just wanted a bit of extra space to chill. And we got a first class ticket back next week because I don't really want to be stressing about getting a seat, and if it's busy because it's a Friday, we're traveling back. So yes, that's all sorted. Hopefully everything's planned. Got everything, got my laptop here so I can watch a bit of Netflix and do some stuff while I'm recovering. So I will keep everyone updated with the progress. Yeah, just gonna get a good night's sleep, hopefully. I probably won't because I'll probably be a little bit stressed. But all things being equal, I will be back for a quick update in the morning pre-surgery. Got an enema in the morning. Never had one of those. Hopefully you won't have to have another one for a while. But yeah, surgery's at the moment penciled in for 9 o'clock. Anaesthetist came round, forgot to say that as well. Just did a few checks. He seems to think it was about 9 o'clock, which is different to the 12 o'clock they told me when I went for the pre-op. So anyway, it could be either of those. And we will see how that goes. And then it'll all be done. And then it's about the recovery. So before I know it, it will be all done and dusted. After all these years, today's the day. Today's Saturday. It's the 12th of October, 2024. and here I am in Parkside Hospital in Wimbledon in my very fetching gown. It's probably the least glamorous I've ever looked on a picture, not that I look particularly glamorous anyway. But yeah, I slept okay considering. I was awake a lot. At one point it felt like I'd been asleep hours, and then I looked at the clock and it was just gone 1 o'clock. So without being too gruesome, I've had a lovely wake up from the nurse this morning with an enema. That was fun. So that's all done and dusted and worked its magic. And I've had a shower, which was nice afterwards. And if I could just say, because with the enema, there's like, it's liquid based, goes up into a certain part of your body. I then had to get from my bed to the toilet, and the only thing I can liken it to, and I've got no experience of this for obvious reasons, is it was like my waters had broke. But anyway, that's all done. I've now got my lovely hospital gown on. I'm not going to show you, but I've got my very sexy hospital pants and my even sexier hospital stockings, compression stockings, which go all the way up. They're like proper stockings, very tight as well. They measured me up yesterday for some supplementary ones, which I'll have after surgery, post-surgery. I've got a bit of a dressing gown here as well, which I'll put on in a bit. The time is now just before 7:15 in the morning, and apparently the doctor, the surgeon and the anaesthetist probably generally come around 7 or just afterwards. So not had anything to eat, obviously. I had a little sip of water just before 6. So that's me done until post-surgery. So I guess I will see you all on the other side. I'm feeling okay at the moment. I guess it's just a little bit of fear about what will happen afterwards. I'm not worried about the operation. I've had quite a few general anaesthetics and stuff. So that should be good. It's just the unknown, and I'm just that thought of being in pain or uncomfortable and stuff. So, but everyone I speak to is really, really positive. So the staff here are amazing. I've yet to experience properly the food, because that's supposed to be amazing as well, but hopefully later on today and certainly tomorrow. So we're good to go. So literally I will see you on the other side when I'll potentially be a little bit lighter. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates. Well, hello, bit of a post-op update. So I'm still in the land of the living, which is great. So it's now Saturday evening. I had surgery this morning, late morning. They came, take me down to theatre just after 10:30, and the anaesthetist did his magic probably about 11:15, I suppose. It's the last time I can remember looking at the clock. And then I came around in the recovery room shortly after 1 p.m. So pretty good, pretty much bang on 2 hours for the surgery. Yeah, felt better than I thought I would. I was expecting to feel a lot more groggy after the anaesthetic, but overall it was all okay. So I took a few sips of water, and I wasn't actually down in recovery very long, to be fair. I was back up in the room certainly by 1:30, so that was great. My amazing partner Terry was here, so that was good. In fact, no, she wasn't here. She had been here. She'd gone back to the hotel, but she came shortly afterwards, which was good. So she didn't stay too long, though. I was feeling really sleepy, and my head kept going, and the nurse, in fairness, had said not to fight it. It would just make it worse. So I had a couple of really nice dozes this afternoon. Sorry, my mouth's still really dry. And feeling a lot better after that. Not in any pain to speak of. Probably haven't moved around as much as I could have or should have, but hopefully tomorrow I will move around a little bit more. The staff have been superb, in and out regularly, doing obs, blood pressure, all my vital signs are looking good, which is fab. And I'd ordered a gorgeous tea or dinner, however we pronounce it, of chili sea bass with Asian noodles, spiced noodles. The reality is I couldn't really face much of them. I had a few mouthfuls and it was really nice, but I just couldn't, I just wasn't in a place. Considering I hadn't eaten all day, I thought I would have been a bit more ravenous, but I wasn't. However, the apple and cinnamon crumble was a delight, especially with the custard. Albeit the one slight surprise was finding a whole cinnamon stick in the middle of it. But that was all good. I took that out, but it was really tasty and it did hit the spot. So yeah, had another little few doses. Just been listening to a bit of radio. Night staff have come on. They're equally as amazing. I'm going to go chat to them. And I'm looking forward to getting hopefully a good night's sleep. So we'll see how that goes. Meds-wise, I've had some IV paracetamol. They've still got some fluids going into me. And as I say, I've still got quite a dry mouth, so I am trying to drink lots of water. But I've not pressed the magic, everyone keeps calling it, the magic morphine button yet. I haven't felt the need to, if I'm being really honest, as much as everybody says it's amazing, and I should give it a whack. I'm a bit of an old square when it comes to drugs, so I think I've got this vision that I'll get too used to it, and the next thing you know, I'll be sticking heroin in my arm. So if I need it, I'll obviously use it, but so far, touch wood, I haven't felt the need. So that's really surgery day done. I'll obviously keep updating through my journey in hospital and my recovery. Be interested to see whether tomorrow I get out of bed at all or whether they leave that to Monday. But I've had a quick look down there. Everything, obviously I can't see any detail, but there's no evidence of any bleeding or anything. It's all looking really good so far, which is amazing. It is a really euphoric thing. If anyone's been through it, you'll hopefully know what I mean. And if you haven't been through it, trust me, it is the end of that journey to an extent. So I'm looking forward to a couple of days real nice rest, and then starting my recovery in earnest. So that's surgery day done and dusted. So I will be back with more updates as we go on. Well, look at me. I am stood up. Yeah, there's my bed behind me. Yeah, I'm Sunday morning. Actually, what time is it now? It is, can't see because I've got a wristband on. It's just gone 11:05, so I'm literally 2 hours, 24 hours pretty much to the minute that surgery started yesterday, which is, I think I'm just doing remarkably well. Surgeon's been round this morning. I had an amazing breakfast of eggs Benedict, which everyone kept telling me was delightful, and it was. So breakfast was really nice cup of coffee and a chocolate biscuit, proper treat. And yeah, so things are going okay. I've had my gown changed. They changed the bed. They got me out of bed, give me a little walk around the room. All was fine. I've heard a few people say they were a bit lightheaded and stuff, but all was good. So I've been able to go into the bathroom, freshen up. I've even put a tiny little bit of makeup on and straighten my hair just because I wanted to look a little bit more respectable. No comments, please. So yeah, so all is good. They've suggested walking around the room today and having a seat in the chair to eat my meals and things. And they said the more I walk around the room, as long as I'm up for it or up to it, then that will help the recovery process. So that's good, but so far so good. I've ordered some nice food for later. They are going to take the pressure dressing off a bit later, probably after lunch as well. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, all is good. I slept okay, only had about 6 hours sleep, but was awake about 5:15 eventually and stayed awake, but it's not as if I've got anywhere to go, is it? So I'm sure I'll be having a little power nap a little bit later. So yeah, so that's day 3, I suppose. First full day post-op. And all is good. Mr. Bellringer said everything went to plan. He said very straightforward was his words. So nurses are amazing. Really nice nurse last night. Not that any of the others haven't been, but nice to have a bit of a chat to her. And I have got this sort of being half awake, half asleep, but knowing someone's there to stick my arm out so they can check my blood pressure and my blood oxygen levels. I've got that off to a T. So that's been a quick learning. So it's just a quick update this morning. Hopefully, if there's anyone news later, I'll give you a bit more of an update. But that's Sunday morning, 24 hours post-op. Hello, it's morning here. It's Tuesday, I think. I'm sort of losing track of days already. I didn't do a video, didn't record anything yesterday. Albeit yesterday was a really good day. So I'm now 3 days post-op. Have my operation on Saturday. I am like properly dressed today. Got dressed yesterday as well, which is good. And I'm obviously up and about. I'm standing up in the room as we speak. Just grabbing my catheter. Walking around. View out of the window here, which is great. Being a bit of a plane geek is quite good because a lot of the planes are heading overhead, and I'm on my Flight Radar 24 app, just seeing where they're going. Evening's good. A lot of big planes going to the Far East, Tokyo, Singapore, Hong Kong, you name it. So that's really good to see. So yes, the little sado in me is enjoying time here. I've just been for a little walk outside, my first venture outdoors since surgery. Did go for a little walk up and down the stairs and stuff yesterday, which was good. No ill effects, which is good. I'm just trying to take it really steady, but I'm really pleased with how everything's going. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for it to be any better, really. The staff have been round. Staff are great. Doctors and nurses and stuff come round. Doctors come round generally every morning. Mr. Bellringer came round Sunday morning for a quick chat. That was all good, which I think I mentioned on one of the previous clips. And yesterday morning, Miss Rashid came round, which was lovely to meet her finally. Heard a lot about her. She was lovely. And one of the other doctors, who's also originally from Cardiff. So that was good. She recognised my accent. And she was like, oh, where are you from? So that was nice to have a chat to her too. So they've had a quick look. Very little in the way of bleeding and stuff. So yeah, everyone is really happy, and I'm up and about. I'm doing things. I'm managing to go to the toilet, which was always a slight worry. As much as it's not very pleasant, I'm not a great one for medicines and things. So taking the laxative sort of liquid stuff isn't brilliant, but I'd rather take it and have the positive effects of that than not. So that's going really well. Other than that, still no, I haven't used any of the morphine, and albeit I'm not connected up to anything now anyway. But I still do have one cannula in. I'm just on a fairly boring regime of ibuprofen and paracetamol, which is fine. That's keeping the wolf from the door. If I was being brutally honest, I probably don't need to take it, but I'd rather take it in a preventative way than anything else at the moment. But yeah, I think the biggest downside at the moment for me is the fact that I'm not able to have a shower, so hence I'm not able to wash my hair, which is why it looks pretty scraggy and horrible and greasy. So I think Thursday, once all the packing is removed, that's when it'll be shower time. So I'm hoping very much looking forward to that. That'll be good. But that is the next big stage for me, I guess. So once everything gets removed, and that's when they'll start going through the whole dilation procedure and stuff. So that's the start of phase 2, I think. So other than that, all is good. Food's amazing. Everyone that's been here before me that's told me about the food is absolutely right. I'm trying to have plenty of variety, albeit it was a difficult decision not going for the chocolate fondant again tonight, because I had that last night and it was really nice with clotted cream. But I'm going for key lime pie tonight with a bit of and roast pork for main course. So that's my update for today. Probably droned on far too long, but that's Tuesday done. I'm going to watch a bit of telly and chill a bit, do a bit of Spanish, do a bit of Duolingo, and yeah, all is good in the world. So I will catch up with you again on my next update, probably tomorrow. We'll probably have a little catch up and see where we're going, see what adventures I've been up to in the next 24 hours. So, little update for today, which is Wednesday, 16th of October, 2024. I'm day 4, I think, post-op, depending on if the op day is day 0, I'm day 4. Op was Saturday, today's Wednesday, so all good. Recovery's still going really well. I'm really, really pleased actually with how everything's gone. Feedback from the medical teams, the doctor and specialist nurse, etc., that come in and have a little look most days, is everything seems to be healing really well. There's not a huge amount of bruising, which is really good. So I'm pretty active, mobile. Yesterday I went outside a couple of times for a walk, up and down 2 flights of stairs, both times. So that was really, really good. I'm really pleased with that. Didn't have any ill effects. Didn't feel particularly exhausted afterwards. Didn't actually have a sleep yesterday during the day either. Albeit I was then quite tired last night. So I slept, had a good 8 hours last night, which was good. So far so good. Been a busy old morning. I did just want to probably give a little bit of an insight, if you like, into the routine. Because whilst there are there's a lot of downtime when you're in hospital for obvious reasons, the mornings by far are the busiest. So typically the morning starts between 6 and 6:30 with the night team coming in to do their last set of obs before they go off shift, and give you any medications. So in my case, just a bit of paracetamol and a liquid like laxative-y thing, forget the name of it now. Doesn't taste great, but I'd rather take it, if you know what I mean, and not have any issues in that area. Then typically breakfast arrives, and the specialist nurse doctor will come in around that time as well, and then have a bit of a check of the wound, check everything's okay, and saying been really happy every day. So that's really cool. I've not been getting a lot of excess bleeding, and there's a bit of blood, but certainly minor bits. Certainly nothing to cause any concern, which is great. Then you have things like the cleaners coming in, cleaning the bathroom, changing the bins, housekeeping, changing the bed, making sure everything's okay, putting in clean towels. The catering teams generally come in the mornings as well to give you your menu for lunch and dinner. Today's case, they brought tomorrow's breakfast menu as well. Sometimes that comes a little bit later. So you're choosing that. And then the nurses are back and forth with more meds. So post-breakfast, I've been having some ibuprofen, which is good. I'm not in any pain, if I'm honest, but I'm sort of taking the view at the moment that prevention is better than cure. So hence I'm keeping to taking the paracetamols and ibuprofen just to stay on top of everything, really. And that's typically about it for the morning, other than then the general nurses coming in just for a bit of more obs checks. Obviously, as the days go by, it gets less and less. Day 1 is pretty intense, and they're in quite regularly, and then it does even out, lessen as the days go on. Today has been a bit busier because I've had a urine sample even taken, and I've had some blood taken. So that's all been done, which was great. And then building up for tomorrow, nurse has just been in to drop off some bits and pieces for tomorrow, because tomorrow is catheter removal day for me, which is when hopefully we'll get to find out whether I can pee by myself. And hopefully it doesn't go everywhere, as some people say it does. And then I'll also be having all the vaginal packing removed, when we'll get to have a proper good look at everything, I guess. And they will also start me on the dilation, which is going to be quite an intense regime for the first 12 weeks. So 3 times a day for the first 12 weeks, and then drops down to twice a day and gradually gets a little bit less as time goes on. So I'm going to be introduced to that tomorrow, and assuming all goes to plan, which hopefully it will, we're all set to go in terms of being discharged on Friday in 2 days' time. So yeah, the week's gone really quick, actually. You know, yes, there's little downtime, there's moments when you get a little bit bored and stuff, but overall, time's flying. I can't believe 2 days' time I'm going to be heading home for a bit of rest and recuperation at home. So things are going really, really well. As I've said on numerous occasions, the staff are absolutely insanely brilliant. They're so friendly, they're so lovely, very attentive. I'd certainly recommend this place if you get the opportunity to come to this place for your surgery. I would definitely recommend it. It's great. Food's great, staff are great, facilities are great. So can't really ask for any more. So that's today's update. Not really sure if there's too much more. Tomorrow will be a big one, because not only is all that stuff happening, probably the highlight of my week tomorrow is going to be that I hopefully get to have a shower and wash this horrible mess of a hair. Don't think I've ever left my hair so long without washing it. So that will be a massive relief. So fingers crossed the next time you see me on the video will be I will be looking ever so slightly better. So yeah, so that's today's update. Slightly longer one today, but loads going on. It's been busy all morning. It's not even midday yet, and it feels like there's been loads going on. So hopefully get a bit of downtime this afternoon, and I will update you on all things pack removal, catheter removal, dilation, and most importantly, shower tomorrow. All right, catch you later. Well, here we are, day 5 post-op. Sun is shining. It's a beautiful day here in Wimbledon. Today is Thursday, the 17th of October, 2024. Surgery was last Saturday, the 12th, she says, thinking. So yeah, 5 days ago, and today has been a bit of a day, bit of a busy day, good day. I was woken I wasn't woken at all. I was awake before 6, but the nurse came in between 6 and 6:30 and removed the catheter with a swift tug on the tube, and that removed, fairly straightforward. That was good. He left some instructions then on what to do when I needed to have a wee for the first time. So the drill with using the toilet for the first few times after having the catheter removed is the first 3 times you have a wee, you need to wee into a receptacle. So there's like a bedpan that fits in the toilet basically that you can wee into. They then measure it, and you need to alert the staff after each time you've had a wee for the first 3 times. And then they come in, they do a scan of your bladder to check that the residual amount left in your bladder isn't excessive, and they measure how much you've released. So it took me probably until about 8 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, I started to sort of panic a little bit, thinking, is this gonna happen? There was one time I thought, I think I need a wee, and then I went into the bathroom and then it didn't. Nothing happened. But yeah, about 8 o'clock I had my first wee. To be fair, I haven't really stopped weeing since. Either either controllably or uncontrollably, but more about that in a bit. So that was the first job done, so that was good. Then I had breakfast, Eggs Benedict this morning, my last Eggs Benedict. I've ordered a cooked breakfast for tomorrow for my final day. So that was lovely. And then the specialist nurses came in to do the pack removal. That was fairly uneventful. You could feel it. I kept on likening it to those magicians' handkerchiefs. They just kept going, it seemed to keep going and going and going. But we got there, which was great. So that was all removed. I just felt really self-conscious because I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty pongy down there after a week of no showering and that stuff being shoved up there. So, but I guess they're used to this. They do this day in, day out. As the nurse said to me this morning, this is not the first time I've done this. And she said, it's not even the first time I've done this today. So they are used to it. So they did that. And then it was on to dilation. So it introduced me to the dilators, went through, had a little explore, got the mirror out, did all that stuff, and got me my first dilation. Managed to achieve fairly decent depth, it's fair to say, which I think she described as being probably a little bit above average. So that was great. So I had to leave that in for 20 minutes, and then because it was the first time we'd done it, I then needed to have 30 minutes bed rest following it. But literally with about 5 minutes to go on the dilation, I started to really need a wee, to the point where, without being too graphic, as soon as I gently removed the dilator, you know, I weed all over the mat that I was sitting on. There was still enough in there to go to the toilet, so I did, and I think that was my third wee anyway. So after that, I was released, if you like, to just go to the toilet when I wanted to. So it's been a really productive morning. It's a little bit odd doing the dilation thing, and there's a little bit of me that's dreading it now. It's just about 1:30 in the afternoon here now, and I'll be doing my next session around 3:30ish. When I'm left to my own devices to do it. She introduced me into the douche, and then I went and had a shower, which was amazing after nearly a week. My last shower was first thing Saturday morning. So to be able to go and have a shower and wash my hair, oh my God, my hair feels so amazing compared to how it's felt the last few days. Yeah, I'm properly over the moon with my hair. So it just made me feel a little bit more human again, if I'm honest. So that was brilliant. Made sure everything was all nice and dry, got dressed, and I'd just been chilling for a bit, just been out in the sunshine for a bit of a walk, had a bit of lunch, and I'm gonna chill before I have my next dilating session at 3 o'clock. So let's say I'm a little bit nervous of it all, because it's about getting into a routine, I guess, and knowing what's normal and is it going to be okay, and not having the comfort blanket, if you like, of one of the nurses watching over and telling me I'm doing it okay. So hopefully that'll go okay, and my hope is within a couple of days it'll all be very normal. That's the hope anyway. So yeah, really busy morning. The only slight downside is as the nurse was tidying my bedroom and putting the quilt up on top of the wardrobe, because I don't sleep with a quilt because it's too hot in here. It knocked my mirror off the top of the wardrobe and it smashed all over the floor. So the mirror that they insist you bring so that you can help with dilation is now no more. RIP mirror. They have managed to find me a massive mirror that I'm going to use for my dilation this afternoon. I've messaged my girlfriend to ask if she can pick one up on her way in later after work. So hopefully I'll have another one. Otherwise it could be fun. So that's about it. Yeah, really busy Thursday. Tomorrow is discharge day. I did see Mr. Bellringer. He popped round with the doctor as well, just very briefly to say, how you doing? Everything all right? Check that I'd had the pack removal, check that I'd been for a wee, etc. And his parting shot was, I'll see you in clinic in however many weeks. So So short and sweet, but that's good. He's certainly not concerned. I'm really happy with how it's going. And my stay at Parkside Wimbledon is nearly over. It'll be mixed feelings about leaving tomorrow, I guess. I'll be a bit sad to leave because they've been great and it's been very much a life-changing experience. But I will be glad to get back on that train and get back to a bit of normality, and start the rest of my life, I guess, with that routine. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that. So we're at Friday, it's discharge day, and it's quite exciting to be going home. It's been a bit of activity this morning. Woke up, I actually slept in. I thought I was going to be awake really early, but I slept in. The nurse came in about 6:45 to do my obs, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you'd have been awake." I was still coming around. So that was good. I had a chilled hour then, I suppose. The specialist nurse and doctor came in, did their final sort of inspection of the area, so to speak. And then once breakfast had arrived, I'd ordered a cooked breakfast this morning, which was really nice, some scrambled egg and bacon and toast and beans. So that set me up for the day, and then got into the all-important dilation session, which I think what I found, so that this morning is my 4th dilation session, because it's all a little bit sore down there. I'm not in pain, but you can feel it, sort of thing. I think the thought of dilation is worse than the actual dilation itself. So when you're thinking about, I've got to do dilation shortly, you're sort of thinking, oh God, this is going to be hard and this is going to be painful and etc. etc. But actually, once you just get yourself in the zone and you get yourself comfortable and everything and get yourself set up, it's actually fine. I've already got myself a little bit of a routine where I set my timer, I pop my music on, and I just have a chill. This morning's highlight was What Kind of Fool by Kylie, which was great. I put that on repeat. So I was tapping my feet during dilation with that one. So that was good. And then when the timer went off, it was shower, had a good old clean and a shower. I'm not gonna lie, the odor thing is not great at the moment. I'm assuming that gets better with time. But that's not particularly pleasant even after showering. So anyway, did all that, got dressed, put a little bit of makeup on, and I'm ready. I've pretty much packed. I don't know whether you can see down there, but that's the case. So pretty much packed. The nurses they've done my final set of obs, just give me some ibuprofen, and they're going to come back with my paperwork in about 10 minutes or so. It's currently just before 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll be sort of on my way. So got a short bus ride over gonna get the bus to Putney Bridge, and then jump on the district line to Paddington, where we'll get the train about 1 o'clock. So yeah, I'm feeling brilliant. I couldn't have imagined feeling like this after 7 days. I'll probably do something else in terms of another little clip about the overall experience and my prep and everything. But my one bit of overwhelming advice would be get yourself in as good a physical shape as you can. I actually ran a half marathon 6 days before my surgery. Now, I'm not suggesting everybody does that, obviously, but I think get your walking in, get your physical fitness to a level that you're able to. We're all different. But I'm absolutely convinced that and just a steely determination to have a good recovery, I think has helped. I think I'm in a fantastic shape for essentially 7 days, 6-7 days post-op. So all good. Hopefully the journey will be this good going forward. But so far, Parkside's been brill, and onwards and upwards to the next stage. So there we go, that's Friday's update for you. Hello, I just thought I'd come on and give a bit of an update on how the recovery is going. So today is Tuesday, so day 10 post-op. Came home on Friday, was discharged from hospital on Friday, so today's Tuesday. And it's been overall, I'd say a good couple of days. Hasn't been without its challenges, but overall, I'm in a good place. I feel really good about how the recovery's going. A little bit of a potted history over the last couple of days. So travelled back from London on Friday, a couple hundred miles, I guess. So that involved a bus from the hospital to Putney Bridge tube station, then into the tube station, which involved a hell of a load of steps. Luckily, my girlfriend was able to carry my case up. There was a lot of steps and there was no lift. So a bit of bad planning on our part there. But a 20-minute tube ride into Paddington, and then we got the train back, which is a couple of hours, and a taxi then at the other end to home. So seemed to go okay. Got home just before 5 o'clock on Friday, and at that point I started to feel it. It was certainly the most moving around exercise, etc., that I'd done post-surgery. And whilst at the time I felt okay, once I stopped it caught up with me a little bit. I started shivering and I had a headache and generally just felt a little bit unwell. So I did manage to have a bit of a sleep then, and then I slept pretty well Friday night. And then by Saturday I was feeling in fairly well, a huge amount better place. I definitely had a wobble Friday night though. Got a little bit upset. I think just the magnitude of the recovery process and the routine and the dilation and all that sort of stuff. And just, whilst I'm not in what I would call pain, it's uncomfortable. It's a bit sore, if you can imagine. You know, you've got a wound there, but that's what you're sitting on. You're putting pressure on that wound quite a bit of the time. So it's just getting comfortable. I've also, without going into too much detail, I've also, first few days there were sort of momentary lapses, if you like, or lack of control of my bladder. I guess, you know, it's still quite numb down there, and you're getting used to everything. So that was a little bit of a pain as well. But Saturday was generally okay. Sunday, not too bad, and then yesterday and today have been pretty good. So I'm getting to a stage now where I'm, other than that little bit of discomfort, a little bit of soreness, I guess you'd say, the dilation's going okay. I would sum it up as being, and I may have already mentioned this previously, but the thought of it is worse than it actually happening. Once you're all in and you set your timer, and in my case I got my music on, the 20 minutes goes reasonably quickly. It's just a case of you then finish and then you go and have a shower, which you don't have to, but I find that the easiest thing. Trying to clean and douche over the toilet, which the nurse talked about, is still pretty messy. There's water running everywhere and stuff. So I tend to generally just jump in the shower, do what I need to do, and then come out, try and dry off naturally, but also use the hairdryer to make sure everything's as dry as it can be. The one frustrating thing still at the moment is the odour. Anyone who's been through it may know what I'm talking about. It's not particularly pleasant. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on down there at the moment, in terms of that healing process. And so it's not the most pleasant thing. That said, I think it is improving, and the slight sense of irony is that I've never been so clean. I've never had so many showers in a day regularly, yet felt so dirty. But I'm convinced that is improving, so that's great. My sleeping pattern is okay. I'm sleeping pretty well. And it's reasonably comfortable sleeping as well, which is good. So overall, things are going well. Today being Tuesday, I've been out for a walk, not far, only 1 kilometre around the block, but just to get out of the house and stretch the legs. That was really, really good. No ill effects. I could have probably easily double that if I wanted to, but I'm just conscious I want to take it one step at a time. I know loads of people who are not in that position to be able to do that so quickly, so I am very grateful that I'm able to. So the plan is to just build that up gradually, to get to a point where my physical fitness is up there. I'm not getting the after effects of it in terms of exhaustion, but I'm also not putting my body and the wound especially under too much pressure, that it's harming the recovery. So it's a really difficult balance at the moment. And the only slight fly in the ointment medically is I had an email off the gender specialist gender nurse yesterday, Dana, to advise that when I had my last urine sample taken, I think it was Wednesday last week, the results came back and showed I had an infection. So I've needed to get a prescription, which is being delivered to me tomorrow. But the prescription's not, the meds are being delivered tomorrow. So I'll go on some antibiotics for a week to hopefully try and sort that out, if it's not sorted already, that is. I'm not particularly feeling any ill effects of an infection, but absolutely just take their advice and see where we go from there. So so that's my update as day 10 post-surgery. Say things are still going really, really well. Overall, I feel really, really good, considering where everything my body's gone through over the last 10 days. And I'm looking forward to that recovery, that sort of gradual improvement going up as we go through the coming days and certainly weeks. So I think the important thing for me is I am noticing subtle differences day on day, which is positive. The big thing then will be to start to look at sort of this week versus last week versus the week before. So as these couple of weeks go on, you know, both with photographic evidence of the area, swelling's definitely reducing, the bruising. I didn't have a huge amount of bruising, but the bruising that I did have is nearly gone. So so yeah, so I think all in all things are going well. So I will continue to update, but I just wanted to give Tuesday's update, and hopefully over the next couple of days I'll do another quick update just to see how things are going. So so yeah, that's Tuesday done. So that was my little documented gender reassignment surgery update. Hope you found it useful. Apologies if it dragged on a little bit on my little daily rants and updates on things. But what I wanted to do is just give a feel for daily life in hospital, the routine, and the different stages that I went through, really, in terms of my recovery to the point where I was home. I'm now several months post-op and everything is recovering really, really well. So hence I just wanted to wait till I finally sort of published the video to see how things are going. But yeah, the recovery went really well. I'm back to doing everything that I was doing. I was back in work in 6 weeks without any major hiccups. So so that was my journey. So I do just want to say a massive thank you if you've made it this far in the video. As I said at the start, if there's any questions at all, if there's anything you want to know or any comments, as long as you're polite and nice, please do comment or like and ask any questions you wish to, and I promise I will reply to people as long as they're nice. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned, because you never know, there may be more to come. We'll see how we go, but for now, thanks so much for watching my little journey.